Hi, in this video we will give a short introduction to virtualization. So what is virtualization? Virtualization is a software we install on top of the operating system, and inside that software we can install so-called virtual machines. Each virtual machine we can install the operating system, Windows, Linux, etc. like this. Or second approach is to install a so-called hypervisor directly on the computer. In this case, you don't need an operating system on the host computer. And inside the hypervisor software, you can install directly virtual machines on top of the hypervisor, like this. We have lots of virtualization software on the market today. We have VMware Workstation, we have VMware Workstation Player, which is free of charge, and you can install it and download it from the internet for free. We have more professional software like VMware vSphere and vSphere Hypervisor. We have virtualization software for Mac. We have VMware Fusion and Parallels Desktop. Both these can be used if you want to install if you want to install Windows on a Mac computer. Microsoft has also a software for this called Hyper-V. Another software is VirtualBox. So why do we need virtualization? Typically we use virtualization when we need to test a new operating system or a new software. So the software we test can be created by you or by others. The third use of virtualization is if you want to run Windows on a Mac computer, then you can install and use a virtualization software. So why do you need to test our software in a test environment? Why can't we just use our own computer? Here are some reasons. The developer that develops the software always says it works on my computer, but normally it doesn't work when the developer installs the software in the customer's environment. Another reason, you want to test your software in a clean environment. Typically, the developer has lots of tools on their computer like Visual Studio, LabVIEW, etc. But the customer don't have these software, so you should be able to install your software without these tools on the computer. So that's why it's a good idea to use a test environment. Also, we typically need to test our software on different platforms and operating systems like Windows, Mac, Linux, etc. And also, if you create a web application, we typically need to test our software on different web browsers like Safari, Opera, Microsoft Edge, Microsoft Internet Explorer, etc. Or when we create an installation package of our software, then we can use a test environment to test our software before we install it in the customer's environment. And also, we can install our software in a test environment to make it available for testers so they can test the software on a separate computer. So here we typically have the developer and the development environment. The developer creates the program on his own computer, and when he or a tester want to test the software, we can install the software in a virtual test environment. And finally, when the software is bug-free and well tested, you can install the software within the customer's environment like this. We will use in this example, VMware Workstation Player, which you can download and use for free from this website. So VMware Workstation Player is for personal use on your own PC, and it's free of charge for personal and non-commercial use. So let's create a virtual machine from scratch using VMware Workstation Player. So now we have opened VMware Workstation Player, and now we want to create a new virtual machine. So you click here on Create a new virtual machine. And in this wizard, we first need to select the image file for the operating system we want to install. So we select install disk image using an ISO file, and then select browse to find the file. So find the file we want to install. And then click next. Here we need to install the proper product key for the software. Next we need to write a name for the virtual machine, so we can just call it Windows Test PC or something. And then we need to select a location where the virtual machine should be stored. So select a location on my hard drive, and then click next. Here you can select the size of the disk inside the virtual machine, so you just leave the default choice here, and then here you can choose between storing the virtual disk as a single file or a multiple files. So if you choose this option, it's easier to move the virtual machine to another computer, so you just choose this option and click next. Here we get a summary of our choices, and then click finish. Now we start creating the disk. Next we get a message if we want to install the VMware tools for Windows, and let's install it. So now we just need to wait while VMware install Windows inside the virtual machine. Now Windows is almost finished installing, just a few seconds now. So now the installation is soon finished. Windows just installed and set up the system for you. So now Windows is soon ready. We just need to set up the network and stuff like that. So now the virtual machine is ready to use. So we have the start menu and everything in Windows. So now we can just install our software as it was on an ordinary computer. Inside the VMware we can also configure our virtual machine. You can click on Player here, Manage, and Virtual Machine Settings. And then we have lots of settings we can change. We can change the memory, information about the processor, hard disk. If you want to use a CD or DVD drive, here you can set up the network adapters, etc. Here you can set up USB, sound card, printers, and display. We can also connect USB devices and memory sticks. So now I just put in an USB memory stick in my computer, and then this pops up, and then just click OK. So then I can connect the USB memory stick to the virtual machine, on this, clicking on this symbol, right click, connect, and then I need to disconnect from the host, so connect, just click OK, and then the memory stick will be available for the virtual machine. So in the beginning, just install the necessary drivers. And then when I open the File Explorer, you see here I have access to the memory stick. Then I can install software from the memory stick inside the virtual machine. That's all for today. Now you can easily set up a virtual machine and install software on the virtual machine and use it for test purposes.